Okay, so for the barbell back squat, you're gonna need to set up the bar in the rack already. You don't wanna set this bar up too high. You wanna set it up about shoulder height, maybe even a little bit lower, because you don't wanna be unracking this on your tippy toes and have to do that to get yourself into position. That's gonna jack up your whole form from the start. So you wanna start a little bit lower. That way when you're in that starting position, you're actually gonna have to do a quarter squat to get that bar off of the rack in order to get into your starting position. Now, when it comes to back position, you want to make sure that you're squeezing that back, because the more you squeeze your back, the tighter you're going to be on the upper portion of your body, so you don't dump forward, and that you're going to put less stress on your spine because you're creating a nice little shelf for the barbell to actually rest on, so it's not resting on your actual spine. As far as your hand placement goes, ideally you want your hand to be as close as possible to create as much tension in that upper back. But if that starts to cause some shoulder issues, you can go ahead and move a little bit further out on that bar. When it comes to bracing, you want to make sure that, so when it comes to bracing, I want you to put, just use this as an example. C-clamp your waist just like this and press in. From here, I want you to inhale. You're going to inhale through the C-clamp. So you're here, you're inhaling, and then hold that brace right there. So you're inhaling in, you'll feel all the air come in 360 degrees, and then you want to hold that brace, like squeeze that when you have that tension everywhere, because that's going to be that proper brace in order for you to perform this exercise the best and protect your spine. We want to maintain this position so we don't get into this position where we're arching our back, and that's going to cause some lower back pain. Now, when it comes to the lift off portion, you're going to squat it straight up, and then we're going to take 3 steps to get into our starting position. So imagine I have the barbell here, I squatted it up, I'm going to take 1, 2, and then that third one is going to be just to make some minor adjustments to make sure that my feet are set. When it comes to your feet placement, depending on your anatomy and your mobility and your hip, everybody's going to have a little bit different stance. Generally, you want to be a little bit wider than hip width, and toes are going to be about 35 to 45 degrees. Generally, again, this can vary from person to person. So you're going to have to kind of fill that out to kind of see where feels comfortable for you. So now putting it all together, show you a few reps. Always make sure your hands are even. I can't stress that. I can't stand when their hands are uneven on the bar, and then when they lift up the bar is all jacked up. So always make sure your hands are even. When you get in position here, come down in our starting position. From here, my upper back is nice and tight. I'm locked in. I'm in a quarter squat position. Then I'm going to brace my core. I'm going to squat straight up. From here, I take 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3. Make some minor adjustments. From here, once again, I'm going to brace my core again. Now I'm tight, I'm engaged. I'm going to lower down controlled. Squat back up. Rack the bar the same way. Just like that. Now always remember 3 things when you're performing any type of squat. The butt has to come back, the knees have to come out, and the chest has to stay up. So as you're from the side view, when you're coming back, your hips should shoot back. You shouldn't be like this when you're squatting down. From the front view, your knees should track outside, so push your knees out so your knees track in line with your toes. And then make sure that chest stays up so you don't dump forward like that. And that's the back squat.